on Money Matters. I'm your host, Faith Katai. Today on the program, we are discussing how individuals and families can learn and save, protect, and invest wisely. And in the studio, I'm joined by experts from the financial sector, Acting Branch Manager of Industrial Branch, Timalizie Chibela, and the Relationship Officer, Digital Banking, Godfrey Tembo. Both are coming from EcoBank, Zambia. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Faith.
Timalize, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Faith.
We're delighted
so
to have you here.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so we start first things first. Many people earn money, but they don't know, they struggle to actually manage it. Why is financial literacy or financial education important in oneself? Maybe we can start with you, Timalize.
Okay, so financial education is very important because it helps you, or it enables you to make informed decisions, because you are coming from a place where you know what you are doing. Okay, so also financial education will make you understand how money works, thereby creating an enabling environment for you to be financially stable and even secure, which I think all of us want.
Godfrey?
Yeah, indeed, I think as Timaliza has stated, you know, financial education is very important in oneself so that you get to know exactly what you're doing. I think this week that we are celebrating Financial Literacy Week is an important week that is out there educating us on what we need to do when we're, I think, trying to manage our finances. So education is very important, that we get to understand and learn how we're handling our finances. So financial education is very important for us.
One would ask, what financial skills should a person learn? Just simple skills. What are some of them that they should learn?
Okay, so some basic skills that one should learn for them to be able to earn financial freedom is at least budgeting and expense tracking. So if you budget and you track your expense, it will help you to not spend carelessly. You will be able to know what exactly you are supposed to spend on, and you will be able to follow a certain pattern, a certain budget, instead of just spending anyhow. So that is one of the skills. Another skill that you can use is to manage your debt. So always make sure that your debt is under control. Don't get yourself in a space where you are in debt trap, where now you have to borrow to service other debts. So you always have to make sure that your debt is under control. Yes, so those are some of the skills that you use. Basic investment is also good. You can invest in a number of things. It can be a small business. It can be through term deposits that a number of financial institutions are offering. But make it a point in your life to have an investment. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, so you know, the skills she's talking about are very important. You see, if you do not have a proper budget, then you won't know how to spend the money. So you can have a 1 kwacha, you can have a 10 kwacha, but if there is no proper budget around it, then you get to struggle. Then as you have the budget around it as well, it's also important to put it into perspective that you need to understand, what am I trying to achieve at the end of the day? Or what am I trying to achieve in the short term, long term? What are the basic things that I need to achieve? So if you set out those clear goals, if you have that skill that you are going to say, okay, for instance, you want to buy a car in the next 5 years, what measures are you going to put in place? So you need to budget. So as the inflow is coming through, you budget. This amount goes to this amount goes to this. Just to emphasize on one point what Timaliza has emphasized on, she's talking about expenses. So we need to manage our expenses. That is one key thing that we need to develop, because if we are not managing our expenses against our income, then we will find ourselves that we are failing to manage our financials very well. So budgeting, setting clear goals, and managing our expenses, that is very important. Those are the skills that we need to develop from the word go. I know we feel less to budget. You know, you didn't expect a certain amount of money to come through. It comes through, but if there is no proper budget, there are no clear goals, you don't manage the expenses, then it becomes very difficult for one to be financially stable.
Wonderful. Many people, especially young entrepreneurs, would actually love to increase their incomes. What simple steps would you advise?
Okay, so with the entrepreneurs, I know people, or we out there, you know, trying to make money, trying to, you know, invest in several things, which is very good. But first one thing is one must understand, like we said, what are they trying to achieve at the end of the day. That is very important. Also, they need to know what type of business they are investing in. Is it, every business is risk, but it's a risk in everything that we do, but we must be able to measure, am I able to manage this? So for the people out there, especially the entrepreneurs, they need to understand, first of all, what are the clear goals they need to achieve as they are conducting that business. They need to assess, is it the right business that I'm investing in? How much am I investing in? How much can I get? But again, you need also to realize that growing a business must be gradual. You don't have to rush. I know people want to rush, do a few things here and there, but also that lands people into problems. So they need to understand a business it has to grow gradually. You need to start from somewhere, slowly. You get to understand what you are doing and what you are trying to provide to the general public.
Okay. Saving is something that is difficult nowadays, especially for households. So people find it so hard, where they make money, it comes on the table, they end up using everything without even saving anything. So are there any specific habits that people, households, need to inculcate in themselves?
Okay, I recently learned something very important, and that was to save before you spend. So most of the times we tend to think we don't have the money to save, and that has made so many of us not be able to save. So what you do is, like we mentioned earlier, make a budget. From the budget, you will know what surplus you have. From there, you will know, when you separate your needs and your wants, you will know that the funds, for example, that go to your wants can be saved. So that money you allocate it to savings, and you save it before you start spending. So I think that's one of the things that could help households or even individuals to be able to start saving. At the end of the day, we need to start saving. It's the only way that we are going to earn that financial freedom that we are all looking out for. First of all, you need to know that if you don't save, you will not end up with a capital, because you will end up eating every income that comes to you. So the best thing you do is slowly start saving. Might be a very small amount. Start saving. Before you know it, you will have something that you could use to invest. So I am going to encourage everyone to save before you spend.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so saving is very important. Like Timothy said, you see, saving begins. It's a habit that one must develop. Like she said, before you get to spend, have something to save. Saving, yeah, it's very difficult. These are experiences that you and me have all gone through. You have a 1,000 kwacha. At the outside of 1,000 kwacha, your expense is even 2,000 kwacha. And in that expense, you've even failed to put something to save for. But what we are saying is that saving is very important. It doesn't matter how much amount of money that you save. At the end of the day, it will come and cushion. We only come to realize it when you have it then when you said, I wish I had started saving some time back. But saving, yeah, it's important that every income that we get, we need to save something. Saving is discipline. You need to be very disciplined for one to start saving. And it's a habit that we all must begin. So for the young ones out there, saving starts from when you're still young. I know there are things that those, parents will give you 1 kwacha, they will test you, buy a sweet. You start from there. You come and surprise, Mommy, today you were supposed to buy me a book. I cannot have the money. You're able to buy a book. Oh, okay, what did you do? You saved. So in that way, you start learning that saving starts from the small amounts that we all earn. And from there, you'll be able to grow the wealth that we are looking for.
Great. Families or individuals often set savings goals but struggle to stay consistent. Like you are saying, I can decide today, in this 1,000, let me be saving this and this. Every time when I get this income, I should save this. But there is a struggle to actually stay consistent. How can families or individuals make realistic goals as they are saving?
That's a very interesting question, Faith. So when it comes to making realistic goals, I think firstly your goals are supposed to be smart. We talk about this all the time. Are your goals specific? Do you know what you want to achieve? Are they measurable? Are you able to measure your goals? Are they attainable? Are you able to attain that goal? Because sometimes you'll find that we will be making a goal that you even know from the very beginning, I will not be able to achieve this goal. Is your goal relevant? Is it important to what you want to attain? Is it going to align with your personal or family aspirations, or career development, or business development, whatever that it is that you want to achieve? Are your goals time bound? Have you set a period when you want to achieve your goal? You can't just say indefinitely, I will save at this point, or one day I will save up to 5,000 kwacha. You need to know. You need your goals have to be time bound to a specific time when you want to achieve them. Like that, you are able to set realistic goals, and you are even able to achieve them. Secondly, it's very important that you break your larger or big goals into small milestones. Okay, so that instead of you saying I want to save a 20,000 kwacha by the end of the year, you would tell yourself, I want to save a 5,000 by the end of March. And whenever you achieve that, ensure to celebrate your small wins, because that will keep you motivated to continue on the track that you're on.
Yeah, so like I said previously, saving is discipline. So when you start saving, like if you have set up your goals that at a month, by the end of the year, I need to save 20,000 kwacha, like an example has been given. If you break that into smaller amounts, you achieve that. But many of the times that you start saving, you go back to the saving that you've had. Of course, your circumstances do matter sometimes, yeah. But what is important is that you need to realize that at the end of the day, this is what I need to achieve. So you need to be consistent. It's a challenge that you need to develop. I said it's an art that you need to be focused on it. You cannot just say it's an experiment where I save 2 3 months, I stop. Again, after 4 5 months, again. You'll find that even that goal they are trying to achieve, it will be delayed. You are supposed to save 20,000 kwacha by the year 2026. You postpone it to 2027. In that, and the more you keep postponing, you'll find 2030, 2040, 2055. By then, you come and realize out of the 20,000, you've only saved 7,000 kwacha. So it's important that we get to be disciplined. Yeah, I'm keep on emphasizing on the younger ones. Yeah, it's very important they get to be disciplined. From there, once they have the families at household level now, also there are those goals that people need to achieve, need to be disciplined. When a certain level of amount has been set for saving, let it be for saving. Yes, circumstances do matter. We do appreciate, we understand that that does happen. And you get to remove 1 or 2 amounts there, you use it. But the key thing that we're saying is that let us be focused and be sure that this is what we need to achieve at the end of the day.
Awesome. We now go on a short break. Don't go away.
Zani's TV, the People's Channel, is now officially on DSTV. Starting 24th February 2026. Tune in on channel 274 DSTV and channel 29 GoTV. This marks a new chapter in delivering credible, national and people-centered programming to homes across Zambia and beyond. From news and national events to development stories and cultural programs, your channel just got bigger. Stay informed, stay connected, stay with Zani's TV.
Back, in case you have just joined us, you are watching Money Matters, a program designed to equip you with knowledge and tools to make informed financial decisions. In the studio, I'm joined by financial experts, Acting Branch Manager, Industrial Branch, Timalizie Chibela, and the Relationship Officer, Digital Banking, Godfrey Tembo. Both are coming from EcoBank, Zambia. We are looking at how individuals and families can learn and save, protect, and invest wisely. So, we get back to our chat.
Yes. Thank you very
How
much.
can families build financial discipline and avoid common money mistakes? Timalize.
Okay, I think some of the ways that you can use to avoid mistakes is for you to be able to have, like I mentioned earlier, to be able to have a budget, create a budget and follow it. Follow that budget, make sure you don't divert from it. Okay. Another way that you can do that is to avoid impulse buying. Personally, I struggled with that. How did I manage to help myself? I created what you call a waiting period, where whenever you want to buy something that you really don't need, you give yourself, say for example, 24, 48 hours, and by the time that you are actually thinking about it, you would have actually even realized that thing is not that important. It's actually not a need. It's very important that we prioritize our needs against our wants, because most of the times we try to mix the two. So there are certain things that you need and certain things that you can do without. So the best thing to avoid financial mistakes is to try and differentiate your wants and your needs, and make sure that you just spend on what you need. Yes.
Yeah, it's important that you need to differentiate the two, like Timali has stated. You know, there are certain times that we want to get something. When you buy it or you get it, you start thinking, but why? Then you realize that whatever item you've bought, you cannot take it back, and the likes here and there. Of course, yeah, you can take it back, but you get to realize, why did I buy this thing? Again, you start thinking, you go back and buy something. Again, you find, but why did I buy this thing? So we need to differentiate the two, like Timaliza stated, the needs and the wants we need to understand. There are several times, like she said, you want to buy something, you go out there, just see, okay, there's a pen. You went for a black pen, you see a red pen, you are enticed, no, let me buy a red pen. You come back, what's the point of buying a red pen? Meanwhile, you wanted a black pen. So we need to differentiate between the needs and the wants. We need to ensure that we work on that. Then the other thing, like she mentioned, the issues of budgeting and everything. So we emphasize on the issue of expenses. Let's manage our expenses within our incomes, because many of the times that we plan for things that we even know that we are not going to, we don't have that much income around it, but we plan beyond it. So we need to ensure that we avoid these family mistakes where we budget beyond that we are earning.
And just to add on what Godfrey has said, I'll still go back to managing our debt. It's very, very important that we manage our debt, because usually when you let your debt get out of control, your entire financial planning is disturbed. So mistakes that a lot of individuals and families make is that they undermine the debt trap, where you get trapped in debt. So let's manage our debt. You cannot stay away from debt, but you need to know how to manage it.
I like that. You cannot stay away from debt, but you need to know how to manage it.
Yes.
Okay. The world has gone digital, and you know, most of the payments we are now, meaning we are doing it online, and some people, or not even some, we are all worried because there are a lot of scams and fraud. What should people do to protect their money, especially online?
Okay, I will speak to some points Godfrey will pick up. So I will speak to creating passwords that are strong and unique. So your password should be unique. If you are going to create a password like Mary 1234, it's very easy for somebody to guess it, and they would get into your devices and maybe even steal from you. So the best thing is your password should always consist of characters, uppercase letters, lowercase letters, and numbers. Those are strong passwords. And I will emphasize on, do not share your passwords with anybody, no matter how much you trust them. Like that, you are able to protect yourself from people stealing from you.
Yeah, so you know, where we are as a country, it's we're moving in the right direction, and we need to. And I think there's a drive through the Bank of Zambia, you know, where we're going cashless in everything that we are doing, and it's very important that we need to take these matters very seriously. So when it comes to online payments, first of all, people must understand that they need first of all to understand what are they really paying for. You know, many of the times that people get to subscribe to so many things, and they tend even to forget that I subscribed for this. And they get to, you know, attach the details, whatever they ask for to attach, and they get to forget around it. So it's very important that one must understand to say, this payment I'm making, is it a secure payment I'm making? Is the platform secure? Is it something which is, verified? So we need to understand that there are so many people out there creating, fake payment platforms and the likes. So we need to be sure of what we're paying for, and we need to understand that we're paying through secure channels. Like Timaliza said, on mobile phones and everything, we put passwords and everything. So it's important that we secure our passwords. Many of the times that people like putting similar password for all the activities, wherever they need to make a payment, they have one single password. So when one channel is compromised, the rest are compromised. So it's important that people try to try to create different passwords and the like, so that they know that even if I might have an issue the other side I cannot be affected.
Great. Let's talk about investment now. If one wants to invest, where can they start from? Is it any amount, or they need a huge amount of money?
Okay.
Can I go? Okay. So investments, you see, it all starts from small amounts. It's the capital. You remember Timaliza said, if you are not saving, then you're denying yourself the capital. It all starts from oneself. So if I'm not saving, then I'm not creating the capital. If I'm not creating the capital, then I cannot invest into something. So investments comes from the savings that we have put, we create the capital, then we get to invest. So remember we said that there are aspirations and visions that we aspire to achieve. It starts from the very small amounts of savings that we are making, then we can invest. Investments, we can all invest in. It doesn't mean that normally I think we misinterpret the word investment. We think investment, we need to invest in big things. We need to invest in a 10,000 project, 10,000 kwacha project. Even a 1,000 kwacha project is an investment. Even a 500 kwacha project is an investment. The business one is starting is an investment. Selling vegetables is an investment one is making. Investing also, there is education otherwise also. You're investing into education. It's all part of investment. So investing doesn't really need that you need to have billions of kwachas for one to invest into something. It all starts from 100 kwacha, 50 kwacha, 500, then the figure starts going up.
Finally, as we come to the end of the program, Timalize, what are some of the mistakes that people make when it comes to investing?
Okay, I think mistake number one is where you want to wait for a certain amount for you to invest. Like my colleague Godfrey has said, you can start with what you have. What you do is just do your research, know what you need, know how much money you are able to put aside, and just go for it. Because most of the times people will say, oh no, I want to get into a business that needs this amount of money. And at that particular time, you don't have that amount of money, meaning that you are delaying your investments when you could actually start with even the little that you have. Investment could even be starting a business selling tomato by the corner. That is an investment. You are making a profit. You are building a capital, which will later on in life assist you to invest in that big dream that you have. So let's start with what we have. Let's not postpone these investments and saving. Let's start saving today. Let's start investing today to build a better future for ourselves.
Great. Godfrey, what are your closing remarks?
Thank you very much, Faith. So for me, I encourage the young ones out there, please let's all, take this financial literacy week very important. Let's listen to what people are encouraging us. It's all based on various experiences that we've gone through. So we do not want people to make the mistakes that we have made before. All what we are saying is that let us be smart, what we are doing. And as you said, on the digital, payments and everything has gone cashless. Please let's support the cashless economy and everything. And let's ensure that we are being mindful on fraud and whatever is happening around there. Let us make sure that we make payments on secure platforms, and please let us also start the investment. The investment starts from the little that we have. All that we need is just a skill around it, then we can develop that skill and achieve the dream that we intend to achieve.
Okay, thank you so much for coming through to Money Matters program.
Thank you very much, Faith.
Thank you, Faith.
Viewers, there you have it. The journey may be challenging, but every step saving consistently, avoiding common mistakes, and embracing financial education builds a foundation for long-term stability and generational wealth. This has been Faith Katai. On behalf of the entire Zanis production team, thank you for watching. Goodbye.